Hello po everyone. Good morning. We are Group 1. We're here today to present our topic, which is home health.
So let's go to our definition. So definition of homebound. Next. So homebound is an adjective unable to leave one's home, typically due to illness or old age. Housebound. To receive coverage under the Medicare benefit, patient must be homebound or confined to the home. An individual is considered confined to home if the following criteria are met. So ma-consider ka na homebound or yun nga homebound kung mamimit mo yung mga criteria na to. So criteria 1, patient must either because of an injury or illness need the aid of support devices tulad ng crutches, canes, wheelchairs, and walkers or gumagamit ng special transportation or kahit assist galing from another person or have a condition that leaving the home is medically contraindicated. So, kung pasok ka sa criteria 1, magpa-follow naman tayo sa criteria 2. So, criteria 2, there must exist a normal inability to leave home, and leaving the home must require a considerable and taxing effort.
Now proceeding naman here sa statements that can justify home care. So for example, after returning home from an outing, the patient requires 2 hours of rest as a result of exhaustion from a trip. Another scenario can be a patient scored greater than 15 seconds on the four square step test, indicating the need for assistance of one person to safely exit the home as a result of increased fall risk. So another scenario naman po natin is the patient reports a Borg scale of greater than 12 while ambulating inside the home and is therefore homebound as a result of the taxing effort ambulation requires. And lastly, decreased cognition as evidenced by the mental status score indicates the patient requires the assistance of one person to exit the home safely. And thus, as part of the initial home health visit and on all subsequent visits, the clinician must identify the functional criteria that support the patient's homebound status. Example of homebound criteria defined by Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, or CMS, in the United States. And therapy services can also be provided to patients in their homes. Some examples of homebound patients that illustrate the factors used to determine whether a homebound condition exists are listed as below. A patient paralyzed from a stroke who is confined to a wheelchair or requires the aid of crutches in order to walk. A patient who is blind or senile and requires the assistance of another person in leaving their place of residence. A patient who has lost the use of their upper extremities and therefore is unable to open doors, use handrails on stairways, etc., and requires the assistance of another individual to leave their space of residence.
Now, for the role of the physical therapist in home health, the fundamental roles of the older adult oriented home care physical therapist is to promote independence in essential activities of daily living, promote reintegration of the patient into the community, and minimize the risk for recurrent acute care hospitalizations and or nursing home admission. Thus, home care therapists play a key role in teaching caregivers a variety of safety techniques, including proper patient positioning for transfers and fall prevention. The patient's home environment provides a rich context for the therapist to gain insight into the patient's functional abilities, particularly the performance of essential ADLs such as bathing, dressing, walking inside the house, and transferring from a chair. The effect of decreased physical activity and functioning promotes further decline on the slippery slope of aging and increases the risk for physical frailty, recurrent disability, multiple hospitalizations, and eventual nursing home admission. The home care physical therapist has a critical role to play in this transitional setting between a higher level of function and institutionalization.
So elements of an effective interdisciplinary approach to medication management in the home. So the first one is assessment of the medication regimen, which includes the patient's understanding of degree of adherence to the prescribed regimen. So the second one is evaluation of the complexity of the regimen for patient and caregivers, which includes consistency of correct administration. Third one, provide proper patient education. And last, assessment of the medication regimen, which includes the patient's understanding of degree of adherence to the prescribed regimen.
So the functional assessment testing can provide valuable information in any setting, but for home health, it's very important. It is an effective way to objectively document the patient's functional status, progress through episodes of care, and justify homebound status. So, functional tests can be gait speed, time chair rise, 6-minute walk test, floor rise, clear, stair climb, and balance test. So, for this, yung time chair rise, makakaano rin siya ng um, long-term prognosis ni patient. And this can also determine the types of home modifications needed. But many patients are resistant to this. So in order to do this effectively, you need to be able to give the patient the autonomy in order to change the settings themselves.
Okay, for the full risk assessment po, ako po yung magre-report. So, yung full risk screening. So, napaka-important talaga ng full risk screening during the first visit. Kasi mahalaga na ma-check agad yung full risk kasi kapag na-reduce ito, may iwasan natin yung mga injuries na pwedeng mag-lead sa functional decline or impairments ng pasyente. Maganda rin ito para mas maging active si patient sa community and within their own home. So, para hindi sila natatakot gumalaw and mas confident sila. So, ayon dito sa slide, marami daw risk factors for falling kagaya ng balance impairment, muscle weakness, polypharmacy o yung tinatawag na multiple medication, at environmental hazards. So, lahat ito common especially sa mga homebound patients, pero modifiable naman sila. Next slide po. Okay. So, according to this slide po, na evidence-based studies, mas effective daw po yung multifactorial ang full risk assessment. Tapos, sinusundan ng individualized intervention. Kasi, meaning naka-base dapat sa specific needs ng patient yung exercise o strategy na gagawin natin. Kasama na din dito yung tamang klaseng exercise at yung right intensity. Hindi lang yung basta-basta lang. Dapat swak siya sa kondisyon ng pasyente. So, sabi rin dito na tayong mga home health therapists or physical therapists are in best position to adjust for related factors kasi tayo yung mismong nasa bahay ng pasyente. So, yung environment nila, functional na. So, relevant pa sa daily life nila. Next slide po. Okay. So, importante rin na i-ask si patient kung may history na ba siya ng pagkadapa or meron ba siyang fear of falling. Kasi kung nadapa na siya dati, mas mataas yung chance na madapa ulit siya in the future. Pwede rin ito mag-lead ng hospitalization or functional decline. So, isa pa sa kailangan nating i-assess is kung kaya ba nilang bumangon mula sa sahig. Kasi hindi lang din ito pag-assess ng fall risk, kasama na din dito yung safety issue. Kasi kung sakaling madapa sila ulit, kailangan natin malaman kung may ability ba silang bumangon o tumayo or kailangan ba nila ng tulong. Next slide po. Next slide po. Pabalik po. Sorry.
So, pagdating naman sa home safety assessment,
Pabalik po. Sorry po.
sorry.
Okay. Thank you. So, lastly, need din natin maging aware na pwede hindi sinasabi ni patient kung nadapa sila. Either nahihiya sila or takot silang malaman ng family nila kasi baka ilipat sila sa nursing home, ganun. Kaya ang recommendation is i-assume natin na may fall risk sila palagi. Dapat maging open at safe ang environment para mas komportableng mag-report si patient na kahit fear of falling, near fall, or actual fall. Kapag may trust na tayo from the patient, mas madali natin mai-implement yung mga strategy or exercises like balance training, safety education, and environmental modification para masiguradong ligtas silang manatili sa bahay. Okay, next slide po. Next reporter po is si Sir Gabe.
So, home safety assessment. So, ang home assessment should be done on the first visit. Safety and mobility barriers ang primary focus ng pag-home assessment. So, within the home, the majority of falls, injurious or not, occur on the level surfaces. Regardless of whether the fall is resulted in an injury or not, most indoor falls happened in the following. So, 29.4% happened on the living room, 27.1 naman sa bedroom, then 20% sa bathroom, and 16.5 sa stairs or heights, then 7.1 naman yung non-injurious falls. As you can see, ang top 1 natin is living room, and top 2 natin is bedroom, and third is bathroom. So, dito kasi kadalasan nakikita or pinupuntahan ng patient natin or yung tao. So, next. So, common home safety interventions. So, itong nag-echo. So, ito yung top 10 na common home safety intervention. Number 1 is non-slip mats under loose rugs. Number 2, night lights and other indirect lighting in bathroom hallways and stairs. So, para mas makita ni patient yung dinadaanan niya. Number 3, move or tape down electrical cords or cover with rug that will not slip. So, para hindi matalisod si patient. Number 4, install railings on both sides of stairs para meron siyang support with the use of his upper or her upper extremities. Next. Number 5, use adaptive equipment such as tub, transfer bench, or shower chair, elevated toilet seat. Number 6, use cane or walker at top of stairs. Number 7, use bedside commode. Number 8, install grab bars in bathroom and at floor or stair height transitions. Number 9, hospital bed. Para may certain positions na pwedeng adjust with the hospital bed compared to a normal bed. Number 10 is yung wheelchair.
Okay. So for the emergency situation, napaka-importante as physical therapist na prepare tayo for emergency kasi nga sabi nga ni Sir, 'di ba? Kailangan na meron tayong certification para makapag-practice tayo sa home care. So ayun, because of the anonymous nature of the home care practice, the therapist is often alone with the patient and needs to be adaptable to creating a safe and clear space for treatment as well as remain cognizant of the patient's and therapist's personal safety. So, kasi, yun nga, tayo lang kasi yung kasama ni patient during therapies, during the session. So, dapat importante na aware tayo sa nangyayari sa patient and aware din tayo kung paano yung gagawin natin during this emergency situation. Kaya kailangan ng certification. Okay, next slide po.
Okay, so for personal safety, alam naman natin na hindi madali ang trabaho ng mga home health workers dahil madalas silang ma-expose sa mga delikadong sitwasyon like overexertion, stress, weapons, illegal drugs, or forms of violence in home that includes verbal and physical. Tapos dagdag pa yung hindi malinis na bahay. Minsan walang tubig, may aggressive na pets yung patient, o kaya naman may nakakalat pa na dumi ng pet. Next slide, please. Dahil dito, mahalagang may dala sila na cellphone palagi para may contact sila sa agency at emergency help kung kailangan dahil ang safety ni PT ay kasing importante lang ng safety ni patient. In other words, hindi magiging effective ang rehabilitation kung si PT mismo ay hindi safe. Next slide, please.
Ayan. So, for the goal setting, next slide po. Ayan. There is some evidence that when the therapist and patient work together to establish meaningful goals for the patient has improved enthusiasm, buy-in, and outcomes. Patient representatives and caregivers can help with information or prior level of function that is useful in setting realistic goals. So, ano nga ba yung goal setting? Ang goal setting ay isang process kung saan ine-establish natin yung mga goal o mga gustong makamit ng pasyente habang siya'y nagpapagaling. So, ayun nga, there's some evidence that prove na nakakatulong ito sa patient na mas ganahan yung patient na gumaling, mas makasama siya sa therapy, and mas maging maayos yung resulta ng paggagamot niya. And then, mas maganda kung yung patient at yung family members or guardian ay kasali natin sa paggawa ng mga goal. Kasi, una, sila yung may alam sa mga kakayahan ni patient before. And then, second, makakatulong sila para maging possible and makatotohanan yung magiging goal natin para sa patient. And then, third, may mga patient kasi minsan na may gusto silang gawin na hindi ligtas para sa kanila. So, kailangan natin yung incorporate sa plan natin, sa patient natin. And then, objective documentation and thorough examination of the patient will help an appropriate plan of care. Each subsequent visit note must stand alone to justify medical necessity. So the purpose of this section was to assist the home health therapist to think critically about patient-centered goal. So, yung role ng physical therapist in this goal setting, gumawa tayo ng correct plan sa totoong kakayahan ni patient. Second, gumamit tayo ng mga tool para ma-measure yung mga risk factor niya tulad ng risk of fall. And then third, magbigay linaw at kompletong documentation every visit natin sa patient natin. So, to summarize this goal setting, ang goal setting ay important para maayos at maging ligtas yung pagiging, yung healing ni patient. Next po.
So, for the coordination of patient care, next slide, please. So, although the home health visit may occur in isolation from other healthcare team members, communication about the case occurs frequently between clinicians in the rehab team. This communication is so important that it is termed care coordination and is required for each patient under rehab. Care coordination is characterized by communication among all members of the interdisciplinary team, specific documentation of patient notification of care provided, the disciplines involved, the frequency of proposed visits, and changes to treatment plan, etc. So, coordination of care also requires communication between disciplines and typically with the agency's clinical manager. However, these requirements are agency specific, meaning care coordination needs to take place at the start of care, resumption of care, recertification of care, and at discharge. There are other cases when documentation of communication between the interdisciplinary team and the clinical case manager are warranted, such as when reporting patient complaints or infections and incidents, lack of progress towards goals, and when providing supervision of other associates, such as home health aide, physical therapist assistant, and licensed practical nurse. That's all.
Next naman po, we will be talking about physical therapy intervention in the home. Now, yung usual parang treatment na makikita mo sa amin is usually exercise po. Na yung reason po bakit is siya po yung parang pinaka bread and butter po namin. It has also proven itself time and time again na it improves functional abilities given na appropriate yung intensity and specificity. Additionally naman po, considering na yung clinical setting po is at the home, medyo kulang-kulang po ng appropriate exercise equipment po si PT. Kaya this incentivizes po yung PT na maging creative po siya sa mga exercises para maging effective po yung exercise program. Next slide, please. So, yung makikita nyo po dito is an example. So, tulad po dito, we got car transfers, dynamic balance activities, floor transfer training, heel raises, quick toe tapping, repeated sit-to-stand, stair climbing, step-ups, and walking on uneven surfaces outside.
For specific activities. So, pwede yung repeatedly getting in and out of bed. Like, pwede natin silang turuan ng mga bed transfers, ganon. Tapos, repeatedly performing dressing tasks, reaching up into cupboards, lifting can of food dishes or weights. So, pwede dito yung mga, halimbawa, cones. So, ipapaabot nyo sa kanila, ganon. Pero if may risk of fall na si patient, pwedeng ipa-modify natin sa kanila yung height ng ng um, ng dish racks. So para hindi ma-fall si patient. Yan. Carrying items, example dishes spots across room from kitchen to dining area, putting in and removing items from refrigerator or stove. So kung kaya ni patient mag-remove ng items sa refrigerator, so dapat kaya niya rin i-open tsaka close yung refrigerator or yung door ng home. Transferring up and down from commode repeatedly. Yung commode is yung parang toilet na nasa chair, ganun. Kasi alam naman natin na yung mga elderly natin is may mga incontinence na. So, possible na hindi na sila umabot sa CR. Kaya naglalagay ng commode doon malapit sa bedsides nila. Next naman, bending over to pick up pets, food, or water dishes from floor. So, pag nagbe-bend, syempre, may risk of fall na rin since possible na weak na rin yung mga legs nila. So, pag nag-bend sila, baka pagka-up nila is dun sila ma-fall. So, kailangan nating turuan sila ng proper bending or proper pick up ng items from the floor. Like yung, dito na papasok yung mga proper body mechanics. Next is stand at bedside and put shirts onto hanger, then hang shirts in closet. Vacuuming or sweeping, transferring clothes from washer to dryer. So, kung makikita nyo yung mga nakalagay dito is more on activities of daily living ni patient. Since possible na nasa bahay na nga lang siya, so ayun yung mga common na ginagawa niya na dapat tulungan natin siya na magawa pa rin yun and without the risk of injury or falls sa patient natin. And lang po.
Now I'll be discussing the home exercise program. This is an essential part of the patient's rehabilitation, as the goal of this program is to reinforce clinic-based treatment by promoting continued progress at home. This program is designed to fit the patient's individual needs and it changes as their conditions improve. So first bullet, so patients are seen typically 2 to 3 times per week. If this allows for consistent monitoring and progression without overwhelming the patient. If strengthening is the goal, the program should focus on exercises that improve endurance, like walking or cycling, and flexibility exercises that maintain or increase joint and muscle range of motion. Next, a home exercise program typically includes a daily walking program to promote cardiovascular health, mobility, and functional independence. Next bullet, the program is updated as the treatment progresses. The exercise will be changed or modified based on the improvement of the patient. Next bullet, exercises provided are to be reviewed with the patient. And lastly, involving family members. Involving family members, especially in patients na may existing na cognitive or visual deficits, can assist or motivate and help ensure the patient follows the program correctly at home. Yun lang po.
So, ayun po, yun na po yung report po namin. Reference po namin is Gucho ni Geriatric Physical Therapy, 4th edition. Thank you very much po.